Ilhan Omar now under fire from both some Democrats and every Republican in the country over incredibly rational, sane, I would argue necessary for the growth of our country comments about American and Israeli war crimes. Says that she's receiving death threats because of course she is. This is America after all. So we're gonna play a little bit of a voicemail that she posted on Twitter as an example of what we're seeing.
They destroy cultural heritage. They destroy history, just like Miss Ilhan Omar, because Muslims are terrorists, and she is a raghead. And every anti-American communist piece that works for her, I hope get what's coming for you.
Okay. So I asked all of you, are you surprised by that? Are you surprised by that or any of the others? Dan, are you surprised that that's the comment she got?
John, what about the context? Doesn't context matter there?
Please provide some context for me, Dan.
No, like if you remove the bleeps, it's actually much worse. You don't get
that's true. We're protecting that guy.
Yeah, no, unfortunately, I kind of do think, because there was a point where the Republican Party, George W. Bush even, was during the lead up to the war in Iraq trying to say, no, Muslims are not our enemies. Stop confusing Muslims and Sikh people. It's totally different groups. Let's try to be friendly with our neighbors. I remember John McCain had to assuage or calm down a woman on stage one time who was saying that Barack Obama can't be trusted because he's an Arab, and John McCain had to say no, he's a decent family man and not an Arab. Let alone that was a weird comment to make, that those two are a dichotomy. But you've gone from very recently, I mean, it's about 10 or 15 years now, but the Republican Party was looking like, hey, we're obviously hitting the accelerator on Islamophobia through our foreign policy, but at least on a social level, let's try to carry the compassionate conservatism thing a little bit. But no, in 2021, it's completely thrown out the window now. And that's the mainstream of the Republican Party, not because major pundit is going and making that death threat call himself or herself, but because these people are repeating the same talking points. This cultural destruction of values and Muslims are terrorists, and where's either he hearing those things, or is he constantly getting those fears abated and massaged, and where is he constantly getting triggered by those things? And the answer is right-wing media, because 100%. That is where it's moved to. And this is where you can see, this is the edge of the result. You can see where it happens right before it gets violent. And so our response to this needs to be appropriate in that regard.
Yep, 100%. Yeah, you can't tune into Fox News without hearing, that BLM are terrorists, and we're gonna have references the attempts to tie Ilhan Omar and other members of the squad to Hamas directly. It's not subtle. It's the most bash you over the head programming and propaganda, but it is there. Well, she had to say this about the death threats. This is incited directly by articles like this, which we'll show you, and far-right politicians like this, and is enabled by a political culture in both parties that allows and often fuels Islamophobia. And she is right to say that it is both parties. I hate both sidesism. I've been very clear about that. But when it exists on both sides, you do have to acknowledge it. And so take a look at Fox News. Ilhan Omar says America, like Hamas and the Taliban, has committed unthinkable atrocities. Well, look, we clearly have. I don't understand if Hamas had, let's say, drone struck a wedding and killed dozens of civilians. Would that not be a war crime? Wait a second, it wasn't Hamas, it was us. I know you couldn't have seen that coming. So what, is that not I guess, okay, it's kind of uncomfortable to drone strike a wedding, but we make great sneakers, so I guess it's free. You get one free, I suppose. You can nuke a couple cities and that's okay. You can commit a few genocides, but let's not talk about it. None of this is debatable in any way, which is why they don't debate it. They just shut it down. They're not saying we should have critical race theory domestically or for our international policy, and we should have something that focuses on the great humanitarian work we're doing. They're saying, don't talk about it, don't teach it, don't learn about it. And whether it's a teacher teaching a kid or Ilhan Omar acknowledging historic realities in interviews like what you saw right there, nope, just don't engage with it. This party that they love a debate, except in some cases, and they would really prefer if there was no talk of this.
Yeah, it's so disgusting. Like there's a Lauren Boebert tweet that maybe you'll get to in a moment, but like it's just the things that people are saying and further putting gasoline on this fire. I mean, xenophobia is alive and well in America right now. And this is not to be alarmist or scaring, but these are like elected officials, regular people who are starting to gen up this hatred, and it only ends in violence. It only ends in violence. So like, it's only like, it sucks to kind of be in this position where you see all of this calamity happening in slow motion, and you as an individual can't really do much about it because of what's ingrained in the country for so long. All you have to do is really just try your best to inform other people and say, hey, what if the shoe was on the other foot, right? Like, how would we respond if instead of seeing drones that we're just kind of annoyed with for like surveillance reasons because we think our neighbor's snooping on us, we think, oh, that drone over there, that could be a rocket that could kill me and my family because it has like countless times before, because this happens every couple of weeks over here. That's what it's like to be on the other side of American foreign policy and what it has been for my entire life and definitely longer. So Ilhan Omar is attempting to reckon with that. Other people should, and I hope that Democrats, I mean, if Democrats are truly progressive, to also put Ilhan Omar in the hot seat, because Ilhan Omar was saying that Joe Biden and the new kind of era of Democrats that are coming in right now would be a little bit more progressive. I expect more Democrats, not just from the squad, to show up and provide some color for Ilhan Omar here, because what she's saying should not be controversial. What she's saying is firmly grounded within human rights. And it can't just constantly be these strong people taking the fire all the time for the truth.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and there are a few that are defending her. We also have, as you pointed out, Lauren Boebert tweeted, Ilhan Omar, honorary member of Hamas, just compared the US military with the Taliban. So she just compared a congresswoman, serving US congresswoman, with a terrorist.
Yeah, no, she's literally saying that we have terrorist sympathizers in Congress, and it's being normalized by the mainstream media. So don't trust any media but ours, or Fox News's, the Newsmaxes, because we're telling you the lies. And also, they're defending terrorist sympathizers. So you should see your antagonism against them as a life or death situation, because they're coming for you. They're coming for you in a cultural way. And this is in 4K. The video and the screenshots are here. They're doing this live because they are priming their base for violence. And it just, we have to call it out clearly. It's bleak and it's grim, but that's what they're doing.
Exactly. Yeah, never mind that compared the US military with the Taliban and acknowledged Taliban atrocities, but she's leaving that part out. Yeah, you're 100% right. They're priming them for violence. I am amazed that we have gotten a couple of years in to the squad serving in Congress without one of them being the target of successful violence. Obviously, there has been attempted violence against them in multiple cases. They want Ilhan Omar to be assassinated. That is what they want. And when they do it, Tucker Carlson will give a monologue about how dare they imply that there was anything political about the assassin. It was just a random person. You should be so angry at them that they would smear white people with this. And that's, God, I hope that I'm wrong, but that's the direction. Like Tucker Carlson or Sean Hannity are gonna blink when the bodies start piling up. The natural outgrowth of their advocacy, and people like Lauren Boebert as well.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.